C, let me just kind of go through letter C, that first sentence pretty carefully. Sometimes these old sentences can make more sense if you change the word order a little bit. So if you were to change the word order to say, religion and morality are indispensable supports of all the dispositions and habits which lead to political prosperity, that might make more sense. That is what he's saying. The dispositions and habits that lead to political prosperity are the kinds of qualities of character that we studied in an earlier activity, things like industry, frugality, temperance, moderation, justice. And so he's saying that these are the dispositions and habits that lead to political prosperity, but they have as a basis morality founded on religion. So again, notice that these are indispensable supports, that you take out these supports and the whole thing comes tumbling down. You don't have, if you take away religion, then you won't have morality, according to Washington and Hamilton. Therefore, you won't have the dispositions and habits that lead to political prosperity, and you won't have political prosperity. It all depends ultimately on religion, which is why, if you think back to the Massachusetts Constitution of 1780, the very first quality was piety. Piety is the kind of fear of God that Jefferson is speaking of in letter B. And so that quality is important to all these other things happening. And that's the point that Washington makes here throughout letter C. And again, it's indispensable, just like in the case of Jefferson and de Tocqueville said. Now in letter D, Washington wants to emphasize that, yes, he knows that some people can be moral without being religious. He doesn't question that. But what he's insisting on is that for most people, they need to be religious to be moral. That's what he means when he says that you can't expect there to be national morality if you exclude religious principles. So he's against excluding religious principles. And just if you look in the textbook, I don't think I put this in the assignment, but just notice then that in number 3 of the supplementary material here, one of the very first acts of Congress was an ordinance for the Northwest Territories in which the law says religion, morality, and knowledge being necessary to good governments and the happiness of mankind, schools and the means of education shall forever be encouraged. So there's an acknowledgement that religion and morality are necessary to good government and the happiness of mankind. And when they establish schools in the Northwest Territory, they're going to be teaching religion, morality, and knowledge. That's the way things, that was the understanding of things in the days of the founding. So just want to emphasize again, you may be of the opinion that Washington and Jefferson and early Americans were totally incorrect in believing that there was a God and believing that the God was a God of the sort that they were describing. And you may think and believe that they're absolutely wrong when they say that liberty will come crashing down and be destroyed if Americans cease to be religious. And you may be right, that's a matter of dispute, but I think that what is not a matter of dispute is that this is what the founders of the U.S. believed, rightly or wrongly. And I just want to have an accurate understanding of that. That's my desire.